Everybody says she's a bully. She's very nasty. Not only is she incredibly controlling, but she's a bitch about it.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
I am physically nauseated watching that clip.
There's a lot of buzz happening around Meghan Markle, and it's not just friendly chatter. People are making serious accusations, suggesting that there's a controlling side to her personality that many aren't aware of.
That at the end of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Megyn, Duchess of Sussex.
Yes.
That's how she's billed.
You might think you know Megyn from her glamorous public appearances and the stories told about her life. But what if her new Netflix show, which was expected to be a warm and charming reintroduction, has actually revealed something completely different? The show was meant to showcase her in a positive light, featuring gorgeous meals and heartwarming moments that seem genuine.
And this is how mornings are as I get the kids off to school. You're making fruit parfait crudité boards? Like
oh my God.
whom?
She is so full of shit.
However, it has resulted in such a strong negative reaction that even her supporters are left confused, struggling to understand how something so carefully planned could go so wrong. This situation goes beyond the show itself. It's about the collapse of a carefully crafted image, leaving many viewers feeling unsettled and even upset.
Harry Sussex? I have no idea. And no, Megyn, no one knew that. Like, why are you correcting?
What started as an elegant tribute to home life and the modern woman turned into a huge public embarrassment for Meghan Markle. This wasn't just a minor mistake, it was a serious miscalculation. At first, her project, With Love Megyn, looked perfect for social media, featuring beautifully wrapped treats, stylish snacks, soft colors, and videos of the Duchess effortlessly chopping cucumbers. But as people looked closer, things began to unravel. The polished image was just a carefully crafted facade. Behind the pretty lighting and charming scenes was a setup that felt overly staged, making even Meghan's fans raise their eyebrows. Instead of coming across as genuine, it felt like a scripted performance, lacking the warmth of real life. It seemed like Meghan was pretending to be at home with a film crew, and viewers weren't convinced by the illusion. The woman who caused rifts in her in-laws' family and isn't well liked by her own family or by the public.
Which is, I'm going to show you how to make a happy, warm, loving home after I have successfully severed my husband's ties from his entire family.
You might think this is the end of her story, but that's not the case. The negative reactions to No More With Love Megyn didn't just come from newspapers. They came from an unexpected source, people who once supported her. We're talking about women comedians, celebrities, and fellow stars on Netflix who took to social media to critique and parody every moment of the show. Their comedic takes weren't just harsh, they were surprisingly accurate and insightful.
Really, one of my favorite things is doing small, wonderful acts of charity and kindness for people to let them know I'm thinking of them.
Megyn Kelly created a viral parody of the Duchess that was so sharp, it became a part of the cultural conversation.
Previously on With Love, Megyn.
Oh my God! Hi! You look amazing!
This wasn't simply comedy. It was a wake-up call that revealed a big gap between how Megyn presents herself and how people really see her. This trend of parodies outshining the original show marked a significant shift, suggesting that the audience's tolerance for polished, curated stories was dwindling.
It's okay, it's not expensive like your clothes are.
Look at how fun that is.
The overall response to With Love Megyn was grim. It didn't just fail, it bombed with a disappointing 28% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The Guardian called it empty lifestyle content, while The Telegraph described it as wild and an exercise in self-importance. Despite a flood of harsh reviews, Netflix has surprisingly announced a second season of the show.
What's the title of her show? Love Megyn. For what? To watch? Who wants to watch Meghan Markle bake a pie?
However, there's an unusual twist to this decision. Sources suggest that this move isn't really a celebration. It's more about trying to fix damage caused by the negative feedback. The executives were aware that the reaction might not be great, but they decided to move forward anyway, taking a gamble that the controversy would draw in viewers rather than focusing on the quality of the show.
I don't think anybody at Netflix could have seen the show before it went out, because it's not entertainment.
The real uproar started when people realized what Megyn considered real life. Instead of showcasing relatable experiences, the show featured moments like hosting guests who praised her ability to make plain pasta or present common grocery items in a new way. This left many viewers not just unimpressed, but actually offended. Then came the moment everyone talked about involved Mindy Kaling, who surprisingly seemed genuine compared to the others. However, even she got caught up in the situation. When she casually mentioned Jack in the Box, Megyn quickly interrupted her, saying, "You know I'm Sussex now."
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
This wasn't just a quirky exchange. It felt uncomfortable and scripted, almost like it was planned out for publicity. Things escalated when comedian Catherine Ryan spoke out, calling Megyn fake, polished, and not real.
Not going to call Meghan Markle the Duchess of Sussex because she quit her job.
Along with other comedians like Christina Pazitsky and John Mulaney, who joked about how Netflix gave Meghan and Harry a lot of money without any real direction.
Now she's been accused of copying Hollywood icon Pamela Anderson after similarities were found between the trailer for Pamela's Cooking with Love venture.
The criticism grew. People didn't dislike the idea of the show itself, but were frustrated with how staged everything felt. Viewers expected to see something genuine, but instead witnessed what felt like a well-orchestrated PR event, complete with fancy linens and expensive honey jars. The show was less about inspiring people and more about alienating those who could see through the carefully crafted image. This wasn't just a simple negative review, it was a strong statement against a public persona that claimed to be relatable. But wait, there's a lot going on with Megyn's new lifestyle brand, and it's not all positive. Recently, she changed the name of her brand from American Riviera Orchard to As Ever, which confused even her most dedicated fans. This wasn't just a simple name change, it seemed more like a frantic attempt to make things better. Some people started accusing her of copying Pamela Anderson because the looks and themes of their projects were strikingly similar. For instance, Megyn has a saying, "I like to elevate the common," which sounds a lot like Pamela's. "I want to take it to another level." Many in public were skeptical about whether this was just a coincidence. When people compared their trailers side by side, it raised serious questions about Megyn's originality and creativity. This was a big mistake for her, as it damaged trust in her brand and highlighted a troubling pattern of not having a unique vision. There's an interesting detail to note. Megyn's signature dish, Ladybug Caprese Bruschetta, was actually taken from a magazine article published years ago. As a result, Megyn's reputation for being innovative started to fall apart. One viewer joked that it seemed like she was elevating Pinterest plagiarism. Screenshots showed that many of her supposedly homemade recipes and moments had been floating around online for years, making her show feel less like a fresh idea and more like reheating old leftovers. Even her DIY centerpiece ideas were similar to YouTube craft tutorials from a decade ago. This created a bad impression for a duchess trying to brand herself as a trendsetter. Then, there was a surprising silence from Megyn's team when things took a turn for the worse. When her show, With Love Megyn, premiered on Netflix, critics didn't hold back. They not only expressed their disappointment, but also pointed out flaws like fake kitchen sets, awkward conversations with guests, and scripted moments that felt unnatural. The online community, especially on YouTube, reacted harshly, with some viewers saying it made them feel physically ill, while others compared it to a bad parody. For Meghan Markle, a figure once admired for her straightforwardness, the recent change in her public image has been tough to handle. What used to come across as sincere now feels staged, and she seems disconnected from her audience. Her public relations team's silence speaks volumes about how they're struggling. This situation reached a boiling point when Megyn Kelly criticized Megyn on SiriusXM, accusing her and Prince Harry of using tragedies for publicity to stay relevant. Kelly labeled them disaster opportunists for visiting disaster-stricken areas like wildfire sites and Uvalde, Texas. The turning point came when Megyn was photographed lifting a bin lid for a photo opportunity, which sparked a massive online backlash. Social media erupted, with figures like Candace Owens turning the moment into a viral TikTok clip. Her sarcastic comment, "Thanks, Megyn, for stooping down to help," quickly became a meme. This marked a shift in how the public views Megyn, transforming genuine attempts at kindness into subjects of ridicule. One single image overshadowed weeks of careful public relations efforts, exposing how fragile her carefully crafted image really is. On top of that, insiders are whispering that Netflix isn't happy with her performance. Viewership is dwindling, reactions accusations are harsh, and what was intended to be a trendy lifestyle brand, a line of Megyn's jam jars similar to Goop, has become a joke. One executive admitted they're now just hoping to make something out of the footage they have left. Meanwhile, Megyn seems to be scrambling to reinvent herself, hinting at a new focus on fashion. This move comes off as urgent and somewhat desperate, yet it still feels like a natural fit for her. When a lifestyle venture flops, turning to fashion is a common fallback. It's less personal and offers a buffer from the chaos. This situation goes beyond just a disappointing show. It highlights a troubling pattern in Megyn's public with contradictions. She wants to be seen as a relatable mother, yet holds onto her title as a duchess. She aims to inspire, but often plays it safe, leading to content that feels inauthentic. Megyn wants to control her creative direction, yet she doesn't take responsibility for her projects when they fail. Each episode, product, and quote reveals deeper issues, raising questions about who Megyn really is: the humanitarian working to help others, or the influencer trying to stage empathy while wearing designer clothes. This split in her persona makes people wonder, is it intriguing or is it causing mistrust? Instead of a fairy tale, her story now feels like a messy drama with too many twists and turns, and constant changes only seem to invite more scrutiny. Her critics aren't just whispering, they're trending, parodying, and memeing her missteps. Her kitchen might be spotless, but her public image tells a different story that's messy. Changes she made to her brand faced criticism, her brother questioned her early success, and her jam company was accused of copying royal symbols. The crown she once wore with pride seems to be slipping as she constantly tries to reinvent herself. With the second season of her show, with Love Megyn stuck in the editing phase, it's clear that her next steps are crucial. They could shape not only her career, but also whether people continue to engage with her story. In today's entertainment world, being genuine matters more than ever. It's not just about staying popular, it's about being real. Her attempts to manage her public image and show a perfect life have led to people wanting even more honesty from her. The big question is this: can someone in the spotlight succeed while pretending to be someone they're not? Or will the audience be drawn to those who are brave enough to show their true selves, even if it's a bit messy?